All right, let's pour ourselves a cup and dive into the world of coffee, seen through the eyes and ears of Bob Dylan. We're going to be exploring the caffeinated dreams, schemes, and themes from his amazing Theme Time Radio Hour. Let's see what stories are brewing in that cup. And just like that, we're right there. You can almost smell the pavement after a light rain. Dylan sets this perfect, kind of noir scene. The perfect place to talk about a drink that fuels both the brightest parts of the city and its darkest corners.
So first up, we're talking about the common man's gold. This is all about how coffee is way more than just a beverage. It's like this little piece of luxury that's for everybody.
I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's not about how much money you have. It's about that simple power of taking a moment for yourself. For just a couple of bucks, you get to have this little daily ritual that feels, kind of special. It's affordable nobility.
And then Dylan hits us with this classic description from way back. It just perfectly captures that two-sided nature of coffee, right? It's intense, it's devilish, but it can also be comforting and angelic. It's got a whole personality in that cup.
Okay, next, let's get into the morning ritual. This is where coffee really becomes the engine that gets the day started, especially when it's with its once famous partner in crime.
So Dylan, taking a cue from a Lefty Frizzell song, builds this list of classic American pairs. Ham and eggs, bagels and lox. They all just click. But you can see where he's going with this. He's leading us right to the one combo that, for a whole generation, was the only real way to kick off the day. And there it is. This lyric shows you how deep that pairing ran. It wasn't just a quirky habit. The music from that time basically said it was more important than actual food. For so many people, this was breakfast. This was the real start to the day. All right, now for some of the wilder stuff. Facts and folklore. Dylan digs up some really surprising, kind of weird stories behind that cup you're holding. We've got to start with this one because it's just incredible. The great philosopher Voltaire was rumored to drink 50 cups a day. 50! That's more than a habit. It just goes to show you that powerful, if maybe a little extreme link between coffee and just thinking hard. Now get this. This is a huge moment in coffee history. In Europe, it was seriously on the verge of being banned. Some clergy were calling it the drink of the devil. But the legend goes the Pope decided to try it first. And guess what? He liked it so much he supposedly baptized it, pretty much saving it for the rest of us. Close call, huh? And here's a great little piece of trivia that connects everything: music, words, and coffee. Frank Sinatra's record label was called Reprise, which means to play again. And on that very label, he sang about a place that had, an awful lot of coffee. See, Sinatra's song wasn't just some catchy little number. It was tapping into a huge global reality. Brazil's role in the coffee world is no joke. We're talking nearly a third of the entire world's supply. So that song was a fun little nod to a true coffee giant. So, we've had the bright, buzzy morning. But now, we're going to shift gears. Let's head into the darker hours and look at coffee's other job, being a quiet friend to the lonely and the heartbroken. So what's that like? When coffee isn't about getting you going for the day, but about getting you through the night? Dylan's playlist gives us a really clear picture of that late-night sadness, just fueled one cup at a time. This line from Squeeze is just brilliant. A simple coffee stain, it's not just a mess, it's a metaphor. It's the actual physical mark left behind by a memory, a reminder of someone who isn't there anymore. And then there's this feeling from Bobby Darin. The coffee is what you drink when there's nothing else you can do. You just pace, and you worry, and you fill those long, empty silences with another sip of black coffee. This lyric from The Larks kind of brings it all home, doesn't it? It's just this perfect, heartbreaking picture. Coffee isn't for socializing here. It's the silent, steady witness to regret. It's the centerpiece of a table for one. Okay, for our last section, we're going to see how that same cup of coffee, the one that keeps us company in our sadness, can also be the thing that gives us that last little bit of comfort and maybe even some hope. And this is where Dylan leaves us, on this really wonderfully hopeful note. The song treats coffee not as fuel for our anxiety, but as a simple pleasure. It's a way to hit pause, take a breath, and get ready to face tomorrow, knowing things might just get better.
So when you really look at it, what Dylan shows us is that a cup of coffee is never ever just a cup of coffee. It's this vessel that holds our energy, our worries, our ideas, our hopes. It's this little daily thing that contains so much of our lives. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What story is in your cup today?